Are you ready to hit the open road and chase adventure across Europe? From the sun-drenched coasts of the Amalfi to the winding road to the Scottish Highlands, we're counting down the absolute best road trips in Europe. Now let's head to Italy's Amalfi coast, where the road twists and turns above turquoise waters along the narrow cliffs of the Mediterranean Sea.
I love this road trip. It's located about 3 hours from Rome, and we booked a rental car from the airport and headed south. There are 13 picturesque coastal towns on the Amalfi coast, with popular towns being Positano, Amalfi Town, Roveo, and Sorrento, and we saw them all.
We booked a little small Fiat 500 rental car through Skyscanner, which made zipping through the towns and narrow streets really easy and fun.
We started in Sorrento, where we stayed for 2 nights to enjoy its beaches and the old town. You can do a day trip to the ancient city of Pompeii here, which is really awesome. And there are tours to the island of Capri here as well.
It's then time to wind your way down to Salerno, a short but unforgettable 30-mile drive of Mediterranean magic. And then we made our way down to Positano, where we spent 4 nights.
This is where we made a base at the Palazzo Talamo, which had affordable rates for a magnificent view. And we drove as far south as Ravello.
A highlight was actually taking a walk along its narrow paths, lining the cliffside to enjoy the most panoramic views of the sea.
Fun fact is you can actually do a hike along all these paths that connect all of the towns along the Amalfi coast. We suggest giving yourself at least 5 days for a leisurely trip.
Next, we cruise along the Causeway coastal route in Northern Ireland. This 120-mile journey from Belfast to Derry is short, but it's packed with stunning sights like the famous Giant's Causeway, the Carrick-a-Reid Rope Bridge, and that haunting Dunluce Castle.
We started in Belfast to explore the city that was home to the Titanic. This is a lively town full of pubs and great dining, and you can learn all about its shipping history.
Now, we stayed at 10 Square Hotel Belfast, right across from Belfast City Hall. It was within walking distance to great restaurants and all those historical attractions.
We then took off along the famous Causeway coastal route that boasts dramatic sea cliffs and beautiful beaches. The star attraction is definitely the Giant's Causeway, and we suggest spending a night at the Causeway Hotel to really enjoy this wonder of nature.
Make sure you also take a side trip to the dark hedges that were featured in the Game of Thrones Season 1. And en route to Derry, stop at the Musselden Temple as well for these spectacular views over the Atlantic Ocean before you head down to the beach below. You don't want to miss this.
Musselden Temple was also featured in Game of Thrones. You'll actually find many places along the Causeway coast were featured in Game of Thrones. Your trip ends in Londonderry, where you'll visit one of the oldest walled city in Europe with beautiful views, haunting museums, and a history lesson in Free Derry, where you will learn all about the Troubles and Sunday Bloody Sunday.
We do suggest spending at least a night in Londonderry. We stayed at the Maldron Hotel, which is right beside Butcher's Gate in the Derry Wall. Absolute excellent base to explore the waterfront, the bogside murals, and the city walls, as well as the museum.
The Causeway Coast is perfect for a 3-day trip, but you can easily take your time and soak up the dramatic scenery, bookended with the 2 Northern Irish cities. So we suggest at least a week to truly immerse in the Causeway coastal route. That's what we did, and there's still a lot more to see.
Who doesn't want to drive through a fairy tale, right? The romantic road in Bavaria, Germany is definitely for you. This 220-mile route from Würzburg to Füssen takes you through medieval towns such as the famous timber houses of Rothenburg, wine country in the Tauber Valley, and the lush countryside of Bavaria.
And don't forget Neuschwanstein Castle. It's the fairy tale castle that made this little corner of the world so popular.
We took this trip from Munich. Flying into the city, we spent 2 days enjoying its beer halls, beer gardens, beautiful town square, and to see the Glockenspiel and its city park.
There are so many things to do there, but we had to set off on our road trip, so we went early in the morning to enjoy Neuschwanstein Castle as our first stop. Located less than 2 hours from Munich, Neuschwanstein Castle is Germany's famous castle that Walt Disney modeled his Sleeping Beauty castle after.
We also popped into the Olympic Village and the surrounding scenery of Garmisch-Partenkirchen that included other fairy tale castles, a hike along the breathtaking Partnack Gorge, the heart-pounding cliff walk at Auspix, and a view of Germany's highest mountain, Zugspitze. One of the highlights of the romantic road is the medieval town of Rothenburg ob der Tauber, with its half-timbered houses, winding cobblestone streets, and enchanting squares. It's like stepping into a storybook.
Have you noticed a theme to the romantic road, Dave?
I think I have.
I think every stop is just straight out of a storybook or a fairy tale.
Yep, it really is.
Würzburg is another vibrant city on the Main River, and it's known for its rich Baroque architecture and renowned for its vineyards, which we love.
Oh yes, we did.
The romantic road is the perfect 4-day journey through history, culture, and seriously, Germany's most beautiful landscapes. We say if you really want to immerse in the beauty, we suggest at least 7 days. All right, we are heading north to Scotland's North Coast 500. It's often called the ultimate Scottish road trip or even the Route 66 of Scotland.
Because this 500-mile route starts at Inverness and loops around the rugged northern coast, taking you past tall cliffs, serene lochs, which are lakes, and historic castles. As we said, we started in Inverness where we rented a car and began our counterclockwise trip through the Scottish Highlands. Highlights just outside of Inverness include Clavacairns, the Culloden battlefield, and Loch Ness, the home of the Loch Ness Monster.
Dunnett Head is probably the most striking point in the northern section of the North Coast 500, with incredible sea stacks and sea cliffs housing migrating birds that you can book a tour to see.
Then it's on to John O'Groats, which is the northernmost part of Scotland's mainland, where you'll see the impressive Duncansby sea stacks and these narrow sea gullies that will literally take your breath away. We stayed at castles such as Dornoch Castle, which houses the #1 whiskey bar on Earth.
We stopped at other distilleries all along the route to taste genuine Scottish whiskey, or Scotch, and we even tried some haggis along the way.
Not my favorite. With sea caves, beaches, countless lakes and bays, there's always something for outdoor lovers.
While driving through the Highlands, make sure you keep an eye out for the Highland cows with their beautiful horns, and look up above as you'll see stags looking over the roads as you drive along those narrow single-track routes. And one of the most beautiful stretches of the drive is through Applecross, where you're going to see one of the most famous views from above. In Plockton, don't forget to check out the castle that was used for the movie Highlander. The best time to drive the North Coast 500 is between May and September, when the weather is best. We suggest at least 7 days to experience the full magic of this route, but we took it in 2 weeks, and we feel you will totally need that to explore it all.
Last but not least on our list, we ventured to the lesser-known but equally spectacular route from Bosnia to Durmitor National Park in Montenegro.
This cross-border drive showcases some of the Balkans' best-kept secrets, including lush forests, stunning rivers, and the remote mountains of Durmitor National Park.
The road trip started for us in Sarajevo in the country of Bosnia and Herzegovina. From Sarajevo, we crossed the border and entered into Montenegro for one of the most jaw-dropping road trips we've ever taken.
Durmitor National Park is home to rugged peaks of the Dark Mountains, the Dinaric Alps, and plenty of emerald lakes.
Yes, you'll also be able to see sheep and horses grazing on the hillsides as you drive through these really winding roads.
You'll not only see them, you may have to stop them. Remember though, this road is very narrow, with many one-lane roads dropping off to deep cliffs. There's times when you have to back up on corners and on high sea cliffs. So if you don't have any experience driving, we don't recommend doing this trip. And instead, you can take a tour, and there are tours that you can book.
Yeah.
We have them in the links below.
The road itself winds its way up to Mount Seldom Pass at 1,907 meters, which is the highest pass in Montenegro.
There are plenty of roads that are blasted through caves, and you're going to experience some hairpin turns that will take your breath away, not only for the views, but for the fear.
Yeah.
And our drive took us all the way to Zablac, where we went hiking to the Black Lake and stayed at Hotel Zoa, which was a fantastic chalet located right within the national park. This made for a great place to explore the national park and all of its other nearby lakes. We also went to the UNESCO-designated tombs that date back thousands of years. It's amazing because you can just walk through it and there's no entry fee. You can do anything you want.
The drive itself could only take 1 day, but we suggest taking 4 or 5 days, spending a little bit of time in Sablac and working your way through that part and revisiting that part of Montenegro.
There are places to stay along the way with some dome cabins and camping, so if you want to take your time, they even have wild camping if you're in a camper van, so just pull over and enjoy the view. The best time to visit is from May to October when the weather is perfect for outdoor exploration. The path actually closes in the winter, so you can't do it in the winter, so make sure you go during the summer months when the weather is best.
So there you have it. Whether you're chasing coastlines, climbing mountains, or visiting fairy tale castles, these road trips offer an unforgettable way to experience Europe's diverse landscapes.
Subscribe for more travel inspiration and check out our other road trip videos in the links below.